actually, like, and I will be like honest with you that we don't have this trust first of all between between us as Palestinian and Israeli, because sometimes like I can come to you as a Palestinian to tell you, hey, like, I want a peace with you. Let's do something. Let's declare something, and then when we leave, we just forget everything.
I think Islam hates us.
They have done nothing except wreak havoc and terror for our faith and our religion.
Professed values of the Western countries, democracy and constitutional and human rights, at least they should speak about this.
And it's like, I feel like religion just is making it worse. They say they believe in God. I think they're just anxious.
Before we talk about politics, let's look at the fundamental things.
That we, when we stand up to those who oppress our communities, that Allah accepts from us that as a form of jihad.
And it requires people with guts to follow God in an era that everyone does whatever is right in their eyes.
Will you distance yourself from those who think differently? Or will you join us at the table and talk about what is really important? This is the Al-Ma'idah Initiative, conversation without compromise.
All right, welcome back to the Al-Ma'idah Initiative podcast. Today I am with Mohamad Jamous, who is a Palestinian Peacemaker. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Okay, well, ahlan wa sahlan. Thank you for coming on the show. So, I came across you through Facebook because currently your family is in the West Bank and you're trying to get them out. Can you kind of explain to me what's going on? Right now everything's focused on Israel, Gaza. What's going on in the West Bank? Why do you need to get your family out? What's the situation there?
So yeah, actually, like because of my work as a Palestinian peacemaker, who started his work in the Wing peace building in the Holy Land between Israel and Palestinian since 15 years till now. So right now, because we have a difficult situation in the Holy Land, in the West Bank, Gaza, Israel, so it is so dangerous for me and for sure for my family also to stay here in the West Bank, because here we have, for me as a Palestinian peacemaker, two kinds of threats. So the first one, which is from the settlers and from the Israeli army, that they are entering the Palestinian cities every day in Ramallah, in Jericho, in all the cities, and they're just like shooting random, which is we have like a chance, to be killed in any moment. In the other side, also because my nationality as a Palestinian, as I said, like who works for peace with Israelis, so also like you will find some extremely radical people who would work against you and who would maybe like put you in some danger, because like I believe in this path, like despite the conflict, despite the war, and despite the difficult, hard videos and pictures that we see every day, especially right now in Gaza. So it's kind of like it give me or like it's put me in a serious danger actually. So my plan is to get my family out from here, from the West Bank to Jordan, at least for 1 month, 2 months, till the situation gets better. And then actually we are trying to get the States, or trying to get Canada as asylum. But if that doesn't work, for sure we will back to our home in Jericho. So I live in Ramallah right now, and my family, they live in Jericho, which is 1 hour far between us.
Yeah, I've been to Jericho. It's a beautiful city.
It is the oldest city in all over it's the oldest city in all over the world. It's so beautiful city and so beautiful culture.
So let me just clarify the situation. So, the West Bank is what's seen as Palestinian territory defined by 1967 borders, and there are Jewish Israeli settlers coming in, and they are, and they're perpetrating violence against like just any Palestinians.
Yeah, actually, I will tell you something about the settlers. So in the West Bank area between the Palestinian cities, there's a settlement. Like there's many settlements who they're located between, for example, between Jericho and Ramallah, between Jericho and Nablus. So when we have difficult situation like this, especially in the West Bank, there's many extremely radical settlers that they are just trying to enter the city of Jericho, of Ramallah, just trying, to shoot people, to kill people, which is happening like almost every day. Every day you can find a settlers, even they are right now between the cities, like between on the main streets between all of these cities, and they're just trying to hit any Palestinian, any Arab. Doesn't matter if they are women, children, kids, men. Doesn't matter for them. Which is, it's like it's a tension. It's a serious danger, between us. Uh, since since the first day of the war till today, I just saw my family just once, because I can't get Jericho. Because I know if I traveled from Ramallah to Jericho, there is a big chance for me to be killed from the settlers. So it's a complicated situation.
Yeah. So I think this is a situation a lot of us in the West are just very kind of unfamiliar with. It kind of flies under the radar a little bit. We know what I mean. So many words are thrown around in the whole conflict that I think a lot of details get lost. So when you talk about Israeli settlers, are they all part of like one extremist group, or is there even a mixture of settlers? Are there sort of friendly, regular
No,
settlers?
yeah, actually, it's kind both of them um, because there is some extremely radical groups of the settlers who, like, for example, like for me and for uh, every human being in all the world, you can consider them as a tourist, because tourist is not just like uh, in one side. Like you can find a tourist from all over the side and all over the world. So about these settlers, they are a kind of a group people who like always calling, inviting for hate, for killing any Arab, for killing any Jew, sorry, for killing any Palestinian, and also there's some regular settlers that they are fine, but when we have a special situation, for example, like now, like this war, so they already converted from normal regular settlers to some extremely settlers.
Yeah. So on any normal week, they might be a kind of regular person you can have a conversation with, but now when everybody's got their backs against the walls, even they're dangerous.
Yeah, and like for sure, because I'm always like expressing my feelings as a human being. Also, there's some settlers that they has nothing to do with the violence, and that they has nothing to do with with killing like anyone. So it's if we want to talk like the truth, so here I'm telling you that in both sides, in all the sides, you will find these people that they has nothing to do with the violence, with hate, against the other, and you can find the people who really like just want to harm the other and to
Okay,
take revenge for sure.
so I have some more questions about this, but before I go on to those, um, I want to share that you are currently raising funds to get your family to Jordan, and there is a GoFundMe that will be linked in the comments for anybody who'd like to contribute. I think you've got to raise about $10,000 to get them out, and
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
about
actually, because like I lost all the financial resources right now, because I used to work in the Dead Sea area, you know, just because like I lost all the resources, to support myself and to support my family. So I was had to create fundraising campaign, and yes, I created fundraising campaign because at least we need like a $10,000 just to take all of my family members, which they are like 16 persons, to get them out from the West Bank to Jordan till the situation gets better. So my plan is to get them for 1 month, 2 months, right? But if the situation gets like worse in the West Bank area, and my family, let's say that they are in Jordan, so we have to stay more in Jordan. So we have like to we have to collect like more donations. So I put in my fundraising campaign, yes, like a $10,000, but this is at least for 2 months, like believe 16 people still alive.
Okay, and so how old are your kids?
Sorry.
How old are your children?
Actually, I don't have children because I'm divorced, but we are five sisters and three brothers,
Okay,
and my
okay,
mom, my dad, and yes, and two of my sisters, they had like children.
okay,
They
okay,
have
okay.
like 6 children in total.
So your brothers, your sisters, your parents, and nieces and nephews.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, anyone who wants to help with that, the GoFundMe link will be in the comments. So, like, you describe yourself as a Palestinian peacemaker. What do you mean by that?
I will tell you. Since the first day of the second intifada, I was almost 14, 15 years old. So at this day, I saw many violence and I saw many killed like around me. I used to live in Jericho, like I was in that school. So at this day, actually, just I saw all of this violence. So I said in my heart that Muhammad, if there is a people who just created this violence, it should be people who just direct all of the situation, complicated situation, to the right way. Because to live in violence and tension, it couldn't happen. Not in the Holy Land, not in the States, not in Europe, not everywhere. So since we live in this tension, in this fear, in this situation, like for me, almost 33 years, so I was had to do something else. So at this day, like the first day of the Intifada, I went to my mom, asked her, "Hey, mom, what is Intifada? What's going on? What is like about all this killing?" She told me, "Listen, Muhammad, if you wanna do anything good for your people, for your culture, for your religion, you should be peacemaker. You should bring all of these people together because violence has no religion." And she told me this word since I was 14, 15 years. Like I was 15 years old. I was kid. Um, so like I said in myself, yes, my mom. She told me, "Muhammad, you should be like peacemaker." What does it mean? So then I just like I just like thought, and I just like talk with many people that we have to create a new generation. We have to create a new stage of stability, of peace, because no one can live here in the Holy Land in this situation. No one. If I care as a human being, as before I be Palestinian or Arab or Muslim, if I care as a human being, I should care about all the civilians in the Holy Land, and I should care about the civilians, children, women. People has nothing to do with this war, with this conflict, and just like to work in it. So I started to look and search for interfaith organizations and these organizations till I found organization. It's called One Voice Palestine. So One Voice Palestine, it was located in Ramallah. I went to them. I said, "Hey guys, my name is Muhammad. I live in Jericho. I wanna be one of your, staff. I wanna work with you. I wanna coordinate with you." So they told me, "Muhammad, like you are more than welcome." For the first time, they took me to Jerusalem to meet with Israeli and American students. And actually, for me, it was like my first time that meeting or like sitting on the same table with Israeli and American. So I was actually excited and I was happy and I had this feeling that okay, like on the media, on the TV, we see like all of this war, we see all of this violence, but here we are on this room and we are fine, we are laughing, we are studying together, all is good. So I just figured out that there's always many solutions to bring all of the people in the Holy Land from all of the religion background together, and between us we could create something that we could create our future, because I believe in something. Peace, it will not come by the government, non-government. Peace, it will come just by our hands. If we have this heat, if we have this love in ourselves, if I trust you as a human being, for sure there's many ways to create this peace, for sure. So I went to to Jerusalem, and I met all these students. And I wanna tell you something funny that at this time I wasn't speak English, not Hebrew, just just Arabic. And I saw all of these students are talking, with each other by English. So I said, "Oh my God, I wanna talk to them. I wanna be part like of this, yeah, of this day." So I asked help from someone to translate for me, and he did, and I raised my voice, and before I raised my voice, I show the hate that I have, the hate that is like telling you that Muhammad, this human being person, he just wanna live in freedom, stability, peace with you, okay? But in the other side, without any cancellation about his right as a Palestinian, because we know that all the Palestinians, unfortunately, they don't have any kind of freedom or dignity or right. Even like you don't have, as a Palestinian, you don't have like the right to talk, to express your feelings, to share anything. You don't have it. So I said no. In one side, I wanna work to get my freedom, to get my dignity, and to get my dreams. You know. But in the other side, I wanna live with my neighbors. I wanna live with my partners without any war, without any conflict. So I just like finished from this event, and I started making like connections here and there, and I worked with many actually interfaith peace organizations in the Holy Land and in the States. And I want to tell you something. Sometimes I got some calls from people in the States, people I don't know personally. They say, "Hey Muhammad, because we heard about you and because we trust you, we will send you like some fund some funding, to create interfaith events," which is I received money calls from different people. Like, you have when you have this feeling that people that people that you never met, people you don't know, they just call you and they say, "Muhammad, we trust in you, we believe in you. Okay, here's for example $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. Just like do something." And for sure, directly, I'm just contacting my Jewish friends, my Israeli friends, my Palestinian friends, and we created like wonderful events. Till now, in the last 10 years, till now, I organized more than 200 interfaith events, and most of them, they were just 5 minutes part of the violence. Like if we have some conflict, if we have some shooting, but despite all of this violence, I'm still raising my voice as a Palestinian peacemaker to all over the world, to tell the world that we are not terrorists, we are not ISIS, okay? We are just people that they wanna get their freedom and dignity and love, and to live with you, to share our culture, to receive your culture. Like we could create a wonderful future, not just for us, but for our children. Because right now, if we lost control about ourselves, we will lose our future, and we will lose our children's future. And yeah.
So it sounds like, from what you're describing, if you talk about the sort of complicated, nature of the conversation, that if you're an Israeli, you kind of have freedom and some stability, and like a lot to lose in the situation. And if you're Palestinian, there's not a lot to lose, but there's a lot of things that can cause like resentment. So both sides have a complicated relationship with the future, because Israel is going to feel like they have a lot to lose, and then if you're Palestinian, you've suffered a lot. You don't have freedom, so it's going to be a complicated conversation for sure. But when you say this is like going to happen through people, not the governments, you are speaking my language. So let me just ask you another question, because I want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying here. You said there's lots of ways to work for peace. So it sounds to me like you're saying one-state solution, two-state solution. That's not really what you're concerned about. You're concerned about the fundamental personal and cultural conversation that needs to happen before anything like that can happen.
Yeah, Actually, okay. The problem here, James, the problem here is that actually, like, and I will be like honest with you, that we don't have this trust, first of all, between between us as Palestinian and Israeli, because sometimes, like, I can come to you as a Palestinian to tell you, hey, like, I want a peace with you, let's do something, let's declare something, and then when we leave, we just forget everything, right? So what I figured out from my experience, like, in this work, that actually with there's so many people that they don't have any trust for the other side, which is, for me, as you said, one state solution, two state solution. For me, like, this is like, it's not important, because right now you can find people who just killing themselves just because of the name of the Holy Land, because this part is called like Israel and this part is called Palestine. Even like this small thing, that maybe like maybe that we can like find any solution, for example, about the names, because it's not a big deal, okay? For us, yes, it's a big deal. For them, yes, it's a big deal. But I mean, for like the peacemakers who really like want to develop the peace processes, you have like to continue to say yalla. So when it says solutions, to say solutions, this is actually it's not important to me as to trust with each other and to think, to think with each other, because I will tell you something which is actually, listen, first of all, nothing justifies killing. Nothing, okay? Because for me, as Arab Muslim Palestinian, okay, just God, He decides when you will die. Not me. Just God, He decides when you will die, tomorrow, after 10 years, just God. Not Muhammad, not James, not anyone else, right? So there's nothing justifies the killing. But in the other side, because we are talking right now, like, honestly, I will tell you something. When you bring a group of people and when you just put them in some space and you close on them, okay, in this space, and you don't give them any freedom, dignity, rights, anything, what you expect from these people after 10 years? What you expect from the children of these people after 20 years? What you want? Like, you want them to come to say, like, after 20 years, hey, okay, thank you for the clothing that you did to me and to my family. Hell, let's make peace. Of course not. For me, the Israeli government is like, sorry for that, but it's like so much stupid government, because they know what is the solution. Okay, when you put us as a Palestinian and you close on us and you don't give us any salaries, any works, and you just like punch us in like very bad way, and you don't give us any dream or right, what you expect from these people? What you expect from them? I like, when I was in the States, when I was in Canada, I said one thing: if you give the Palestinian their freedom, you will have the peace in the next day. In the morning, you can just like have the breakfast together, because what the Palestinian are doing here is just fighting for their freedom, fighting for their life, and there's difference between, sorry, and there's a difference between tourists and between defense. Defense is when you sit at your home and I come to you in 3, 4 in the morning. I just started to destroy your house and hit your mom, hit your children. Okay, what you gonna do? You will defend, like, you will defend on yourself. For sure, you will not just like sit here and say, oh yeah, this is cool. Of course, like when someone comes to your house at 3, 4 in the morning and start shooting you or shooting your family, what you gonna do? It's like defense, right? But for some media and for some people, they are changing and converting the meaning of defense to terrorist. It means like for some people and actually for like many people, it means that if right now Muhammad sits here in his house and some, let's say, IDF come to his house and he starts shooting, Muhammad, he should sit here without doing anything. This is for many people, which is of course not. You know, terrorists, when I come to you with no reason, like, with no reason, and I find you on the street, for example, on your school, and I kill you, it's called a terrorist. So there's a difference, and unfortunately that there's many people in all over the world, they know what is the meaning and that the difference between the two words, but just maybe because they support Israel and they don't support Palestine, so for them it's same. This is like the problem here. 5 days ago, one of my people, of my team in a peace building, in a peacemaker, his brother, he was killed by the settlers with no reason because they live in Nablus. So Nablus, because they have many settlements, between like around the city. So it happens every day that there's some settlers are coming to Nablus and actually especially to the villages of Nablus and start shooting. So one of my team members, his name is Mahmoud Ode, and his brother was killed by the settlers. So Mahmoud, when he worked 7 years, 8 years, okay, with the peace building and peacemaking and with the Israeli, blah blah blah. So when his brother, like, he killed by the settlers, of course, nothing leads, okay, to change yourself from peacemaker to like tourist or for like something else. For sure not. But I say we have feelings, man. We have feelings, okay? Like we have feelings because in Palestine we are like so closely society, which is mean like we know everyone in the city. We are friends with everyone. Our families, like they are friends, with other families. So we are so close. So we have feelings. So when someone comes to kill my brother, for sure, like all the city will get upset, angry, about this. So this is actually what's happening here right now.
So, question: when he was killed, like, did they ever, like, what happens to the people that killed him? Are they just like, are they arrested by Israel? Are they,
This is the problem that settlers today, when they come to kill you, okay, you will see the IDF beside them. You will see the IDF protect them, even when they are killing us. Like it's I swear by God, like it's something that maybe you don't see it on the media, on the TV, on the news, okay, or maybe they give you wrong picture about what we really have here. When you go from Ramallah to Nablus and you see a group of 70, 80, 100 settlers on the street, they are just waiting for you to kill you. You will find the police, IDF, the army, okay, just protect them while they are shooting us. Like, or you have here two options, or you just sit and wait for your kill, okay, or you just like try, for example, to run away. And if you tried to run away, the alien army, they will say that this guy, he is trying to kill like some settlers. Actually, there's no there's no for you like to. So in the two options, you are dead. So
yeah, well, that's rough. So then, with all this going on and friends being killed by settlers, what is your, do you still have hope for the future here? Do you still have a long-term hope for the situation? How are you feeling right now?
actually, for me, I never lose hope. I never lose hope, despite what we have, despite what we had, and despite what is the future present for us, I never lose hope because I know that one day, we will achieve the only and the only goal for me actually and for many people, which is to have peace. But as I told you before, we have to work together as a people, not as a government, because we know that. And for me, I will talk in my name that I know that all the governments and all over the world, because right now I'm studying international relations and diplomacy. I'm doing my master's degree, um, and I know that all of the governments, okay, for sure they are care about their people, but the business, let's say, between the governments and the use between the governments, like, is the most important thing, you know. So as I said, for me, I never lose hope, but we have to wake up. We have to start wake up because right now, today, there's actually two parts in this world. There's a part who just calling for free Palestine, and there's a part who just calling for free Israel, blah blah blah. You know, like the two parts. So they are calling for this, but but they didn't think about the future. If I right now, like, for sure, for me as a Palestinian, I want my country to be free. I want my country to be free, and I want to be this free Palestinian person. You know that I don't have any checkpoints, any walls, anything. But in the other side, we have to wake up and we have to start working together as a people, as a youth. This is our turn right now as youth, you know, because as I said, if we didn't control ourselves, our children will be more worse than us. Will be more worse than us. We have to wake up and instead of going and on the street and supporting this country, and supporting the terrorists, supporting this organization, we have to wake up and to start thinking how we could do something together as a people, you know, because we know that, and I will tell you something. In Palestine and in Israel, there's 10%, and there's 10% of the two sides that this 10%, let's say that they are terrorists, they are extremely people, they are radicals. So this percentage of the two sides, they are covered everything. Why? Why? You know why? So we have to wake up and we have to start working. I was in the president twice. I was in the Palestinian president twice, and I was under danger from the Israeli side, from the settlers in Jerusalem, in the street, 1,000 times. But despite all of this, and actually, I spent 15 years since I was a kid in this field because I believe in it. Okay, I spent all of this 15 years in the time that my family needed me to help them financially, to support them financially. But no, I decided to take the peace building side because my dream is to see our Holy Land full of peace and to see our Holy Land full of peaceful people because this is what we need. This is what we need. We don't need right now rockets and bombing and killing and violence every day.
I really appreciate the perspective because one thing I think is missing from the whole thing, like, is sort of positive vision for the future here. So, you know, when I hear Israel talk about what they're doing in Gaza, like, again, I understand their reasoning for feeling like they need to take out Hamas, but what I would love to hear is, okay, but then what? Are you just going to like leave Gaza as a pile of rubble? Something that's important to me as a Christian is Jesus says, you know, love your enemies, pray for those who persecute you, and what I believe is kind of predicated on being able to imagine a world where the people who are currently your enemies can one day be your friends and one day be prospering.
Exactly. But I will tell you something about the situation in Gaza and about Hamas. Do you know what year Hamas? Do you know what is like Hamas? It was founded.
It was like 35 years ago, right?
It was 1987. Okay, 1987. So before Hamas founded in Palestine, it was also the same situation from the Israeli government towards the Palestinian people. It was shooting and killing, as I told you before, and I will say this many times. Actually, nothing justifies killing, and I condemn actually all the tourist organizations and all the tourists doing in all over the world, not just in the Holy Land, but just something like in the it's like something in the logic. For example, Hamas, it became here in 1987, but before Hamas, it was always, every day killing and shooting and settlers, IDF, Israeli army, every day entering the Palestinian cities, arresting, killing. It's not just because Hamas, because right now all the people they tell you like Hamas is not just Hamas, because it's before Hamas, it was always killing in the Holy Land, in Palestine. It was always killing. Um, uh, 75 years and more than 75 years. Like, I mean, come on. If it's a stone and you put it 75 years, you know, it will change, right? Because so when you put a people 75 years and you arrest them and killing them and you don't give you just close on them, you don't give them any dignity or what you expect from these people, what you expect, you know. We are a people in Palestine. We just want one thing. We just want to live like all of the people in all over the world. That's it. That's it. We don't want anything else. We don't want. Give me my freedom. Let me visit my family without checkpoints, without fear, without tension from the settlers or from the Israeli army. Give me this freedom and let me just live like all of the people in all over the world. Why our children, why our Palestinian children are growing up and raising on fear and dangers and risk and tension? Why? And why like the children in the States, in Israel, in Europe, why they have like all this beautiful life, but our children now? Why? Well, no, we deserve it. We are a human. We are a human. We know that there is many media in all over the world that they are changing our picture from Palestinian to ISIS. We know that, but for sure they are like they know the truth. They know that we are not ISIS, and they know that we are not terrorists. We are just a people. We want to live in freedom. Give us the freedom, like give us our freedom, and in the next day you will see like a big change in the Holy Land. You will see it in Palestine, in Israel. You will see it.
So you talk about the way you describe this, right? You describe sort of 10% on each side, which is really causing the problems. So
10% before the war.
Before the war, and
Before this war.
and then it gets worse during the war. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
let's talk about this. So let's say it's 10% normally, and say 35% now. Is that fair?
Okay.
Right. It's an arbitrary number. So if it's let's say let's say this gets resolved and you kind of have that 10% and that 10% again, right? You've got the Israeli settlers who just want to erase Palestinians from the map, and then you have either the sort of jihadist mindset or you have the sort of like leftist global revolution mindset that just wants to kind of eliminate Israel. But then you have you clearly have friends who are Israelis. You clearly have your friends from all over the world. How do reasonable people who want to live in peace and harmony with each other outmaneuver the disciplined, ideologically driven people who want this fight to continue and end in bloodshed?
Yeah. Okay. So actually, as I told you before this war, okay, it was something, and right now something else, because in this 3-4 weeks, like there's a big change happen, okay, just in the 3-4 weeks. About the people, let me tell you, even in Palestine, and we are talking right now before the war, there's a huge percentage in of Palestinian people who want like to live in peace with Israel, okay. There's a huge percentage, but there's also some reasons who just to prevent them, okay, to like to show that, which is, for example, as I told you, we don't have any right of talking, expressing, because we are scared, okay. We are scared from like uh, 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 like we are scared from let me tell you like this in this way, because like sometimes when we are talking even we're still scared, if you understand me, like I
Yes.
mean now. So yeah, so we are scared from like two sides, okay, of talking that, like to raise my voice to say, hey, like I want peace, with Israel, So there's like many reasons, or just like prevent these people to say that. Also, some of this reason, which is that they don't have freedom, that they don't have dignity, blah blah blah, and also that um, uh, they are scared and they have this fear, because if they are talking and if they are taught, okay, maybe you will find one of these 10% people that they will come to kill you, for example, you you, because just here you never know. But I'm gonna tell you this in this way, that if you try to talk, you will get many threats, as I get it 2 weeks ago. Okay, I can't explain more because sometimes you wanna talk, you wanna explain, but you just can't. You
Yeah.
understand me? You just
Yes.
can't. Yeah, you just can't, because if you put all of this courage and the brave and you just talk, maybe in the next hour you will not find Muhammad. It's like complicated here, but yes, we live uh, we live like with a big serious fear and dangers here, and tension every day. Like every day I sleep and wake up in a tension. Every day, every day, every day. Like um just I wish and I hope and I dream to have, maybe just for maybe one day or 1 week, to have this comfortable life, and to really to feel myself I live in peace, you know, just for 1 week. I will not tell you 1 year and 10 years, and just give me 1 week just to feel, or like just to taste what is freedom looks like. It's it's upset, it's upsetting, it's sadness, but this is our situation in the Holy Land, and my work and my duty as a Palestinian peacemaker, that I have to keep fighting for peace, and I have to keep fighting, because I don't want to lose hope, and I don't want to receive any calls from my family, from my friends, to say, hey, we like someone from our family or someone from our friends killed. As I said again, there's nothing, no reason lead me, for example, to violence or terrorism, or. But in the other side, we have to control everything by our hands, because we are here, the people, Israeli and Palestinian.
So, so the average Israeli, or the average Israel supporter somewhere, uh, needs to realize that there are lots of people like you who actually want to live peacefully, and who don't want to get rid of them, who don't want them dead or, deported.
Yeah,
And they've got to
yeah.
find a way to cross boundaries and work and invest and come alongside people.
Yeah, James, actually, this is important point, and thank you for mentioning this point, because okay, here I have a problem. Here I have a problem with my Jewish and Israeli friends, people like who know me and people who don't know me. So there's, because like recently I just figured out that when I say that I'm Palestinian peacemaker, they think that I'm working to make peace in Israel. You know, no, of course not. I'm working to make peace in the Holy Land, to my people, to get my freedom, and for sure like to make, or like to create peace between the two people, because like as I told you, I just figured out and discovered many things in this war, that many of my people, many of my friends, of my Israeli friends, when I was posting on my Instagram, for example, some peaceful pictures and some like pictures from my peace work program. They are happy and sending heart, and they are like good. But when I share a picture about, let's say, children who killed in Gaza, they just starting by, no, this is Hamas, the Hamas. Like, you understand me? This is for me. It hurt me because I know that these people who are just doing this, that they are not trusting Muhammad or not believing Muhammad, but these people are take advantage and using Muhammad voice as a Palestinian peacemaker for their side. Which is for me is not good. It's not good that you take advantage and use my voice as a Palestinian peacemaker to show the world that, hey, we have Palestinians who just stand with us. No, I'm not stand with Israel. I'm stand with Palestine. Like I'm Palestinian. But you should know, you are my Jewish Israeli friend. You should know that I'm Palestinian. I'm working for my freedom. In the other side, yes, I'm working to live me and you together without any obstacles, without any challenges. So there's a people like who just when they see Muhammad posting many interfaith and peace pictures, they are just climbing and they are happy. Oh, Muhammad, yes, you are peacemaker, you are. But when they saw me like sharing my people struggling, my people suffering, they are, no, you are not peacemaker. You are not peacemaker. You support Hamas. I heard this many times that I support Hamas because I'm sharing a picture a pictures of people who just like killed in Gaza, and it's insane actually, and it's not a humanitarian, and like 100%. So these people are just like using our voices, and that's it. So I'm not like this kind of person.
So essentially, you want your people to win, but win doesn't mean a military victory. It means their freedom and their prosperity, right? And you're not against the freedom and prosperity of Israel. You want the Israelis to win too, but not at the expense of your people.
I want the both people to live in peace and stability without hurt each other, without killing each other. Okay, but and for sure, like to live in paradise, because actually the holy land for me is paradise, right? So I want the both people just live here together, eating here, and they could visit each other without any obstacles and the challenges. But in the other side, I want also, as I told you, I want my freedom and I want my rights as a Palestinian human being.
I don't know if you've ever heard this, but did you know that the Bible actually predicts the outcome that you're hoping for? In the book of Zechariah, God says, I will cut off the pride of Philistia. That's not singling out the Palestinians. Pride is bad wherever it's found, right? We all know that's a problem in the conflict. I'll take away the blood from its mouth and the abominations from its teeth. Then it says, it too shall be a remnant for our God. It shall be like a clan in Judah, and Ekron shall be like the Jebusites. Then I'll encamp at my house as a guard, so that none shall march to and fro. No oppressor shall again march over them. So, what that's predicting, right? So the Jebusites, who the Palestinians are compared to there, were people who lived side by side with the Israelites, who were believers in the same God, and kept their cultural identity while living in peace.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
I'm as a Christian, I'm not hoping that Israel wipes out the Palestinians. I'm not hoping that the Palestinians drive Israel into the sea. I actually believe in a future where there is peace and brotherhood between Israelis and Palestinians, and everyone wins. Doesn't mean I believe it's going to be an easy path to getting there, but that is actually the future I believe in. So the question then for you is, right, so neither you or I are going to be able to pick up a phone and call Benjamin Netanyahu and explain how this should go.
Yeah.
I'm not part of that conspiracy. But what are the practical things that people like you or I, the average person, can actually do to take like practical steps towards the outcome that we actually want?
As I told you, James, I'm still working as a Palestinian peacemaker because I want both of people just living side by side, as you said. But about like mentioning the Benjamin Netanyahu, for me as Palestinian, that Benjamin Netanyahu and Ben Gvir and many people like these people are just destroying their people before destroying the Palestinian people. You know, as I told you, like from in the beginning, that peace it will not come by the governments. But for me, as Palestinian who lives in Palestine, I saw and I see that Benjamin Netanyahu and Ben Gvir and many people in the Knesset, in the Israeli Knesset, they are destroying the Israeli and Jewish people who really want to live in peace with with the Palestinian people. So they are destroying their people before they are destroying our people. You know, and you know, like for sure that you know that Benjamin Netanyahu, he's done. Like his political life, he's just done. You know, like he finished. But this is not a problem because also the Israeli government are control the Palestinian government. Like for example, if Palestinian government are like trying to talk to do anything, the Israeli government will cut off all the money that they send every month to the Palestinian government, and then if they are cutting this money, no one in Palestine who works in the government will get any salary. I mean that they are just punish us in all the ways, in all the ways, diplomatic and political, like in all the ways they just like control us and punishment us in this way, in all kinds of way, which is, as I told you, there's money. And for me as Palestinian, I have Jewish friends more than Palestinian friends. You know, Jewish friends who just like fighting for the Palestinian rights. Jewish friends who know the truth. Jewish friends who just like want to come to visit Muhammad in Jericho and Ramallah without fear, without tension, without challenges. So it's the Israeli government are doing a big mistake, and as I told you, they're just like destroying their people before they are destroying the Palestinian people.
So I think we both believe that like what's fundamentally broken here is trust between people, and
Exactly.
and I think what the governments do is downstream from that, right? If if the governments right now is like a lake, the distrust between normal people is like the river that goes into the lake.
Yeah.
And the real work that needs to be done is person to person, heart to heart, mind to mind. And
Yeah.
if that work is done, then something may be able to be done about the governments down the stream from now.
Yeah. What actually what I thought like recently, maybe to change the situation. I mean, not right now because it is still like you know the situation is still difficult. But I said if there's just a few numbers of people in Palestine, in Israel, in the States, in France, in Italy, in all over the world, if there's just a few numbers of these countries, like people who really can trust each other, people who really believe in peace from their heart, these people in all over the countries, they could change the world. They could create a new world of peace. If these people, if we could, like, if we could bring these people from all over the world, but as I told you, just people that they really want peace from their heart, that they really people live in humanity. So we could like gathering all of these people from all over the world, and we could do like so like a beautiful work, which is by raising our voice and because listen, as like I will tell you something. It's important, you know, to build bridges like between the communities and between the cultures, and then like to extend like this bridge, like to achieve peace. But here for me as Muhammad, and because I told you from the beginning that I will be so honest with you. Just we need just truth people, real people, let's say, real people, okay, that they really care about the people itself, not about Israelis, Palestinians, and this against this and this about this. No, if there's a people, like 100 people from these countries could change the world. Yeah. They could change the world if really if we could work together as a human being. We could end the conflict. We could create a new generation of love, of faith, of hope. You know, we could do anything, but we have just as I told you to wake up, to wake up because we're still sleeping.
Okay, so let's close with this. I want to get your sort of 2-minute advice on two different issues, right? So let's imagine an Israeli college student who is yelled at on their college campus, has had a friend die at the massacre in the South, and is having a hard time differentiating between regular Palestinians who want to live in peace and the people that just like would want her dead or gone, right? What would you say to that woman there, or the man or woman there, the college student, in 2 minutes?
Okay. First of all, don't lose hope, and don't let anything affects on your feelings. Okay, as a human being, I know that we are feeling and we are human. Okay, we are get upset, we are get sad, but don't let anything okay to affect on your feelings. Okay, and to change you from a human being, from peacemaker to any terrorist person, and the better future is coming. Tomorrow will be better future. And sometimes we lost people in our lives, okay? Because everything happens for reasons, and everything happens from God. And because we believe in God, all of us we believe in the same God. We should believe that tomorrow is better, and we should believe that we will keep fighting, and all of us we should keep fighting to achieve the stability and peace here in the Holy Land.
So, again, and then the second one, let's take the Palestinian 20-year-old man who's just lost his uncle to settler violence or an airstrike. Choose your poison, and he's grieving, he's angry, and he doesn't see any future. What would you say to him?
Yeah, the same thing, which is sometimes we lose people, and we lose people we love in our lives. Okay, but again, don't let anything affect on your behavior, because everything happens for a reason, and this war happens for a reason, and this killing happened for a reason, and we lost our friends. Everything happened is for reasons, and inshallah, we say in Arabic, inshallah, that tomorrow will be better. And just we don't want to create a new generation of violence. We want to create a new generation of hope and faith and love between all of us as a people and as a human being here. So we should control ourselves. I will tell him and I will tell her in the two sides, just control yourselves, because this war and this conflict will end. And inshallah, with the hope, we can say that peace is possible. And really, peace is possible.
I like your ending note there of controlling yourself. One thing Jesus says is, before you remove the speck out of someone else's eye, remove the plank from your own eye. And I think, and the worse things get, the easier it is to overlook the flaws of your own side at a time like this, right? So right now, with the Hamas attack, I think it's very easy for Israelis to overlook the Jewish settler violence, and then with the airstrikes, it's difficult for someone who's Palestinian to overlook the sort of forces of evil that are operating in Palestinian territories as well. And I think if everybody is willing to be strict on themselves and charitable with the other, obviously it doesn't solve everything. It doesn't stop bombs falling, but it is the path towards real peace at some point. So,
Yeah.
I'm really thankful for your voice. I'm thankful for the work you're doing. And again, if anybody would like to contribute to getting Mohamad's family to safety out of Jericho, you can do so by donating.
Yeah,
below.
because actually, like, we need. We are working right now because just I need to get my family out as soon as possible. So yeah, like, thank you, and thanks for all the people who could donate and share the link. I don't know if you put it on the comments. Have you shared it? Okay. So anyway, I thank you all, and I thank you for your time. And just this is like as a short message to all of us that we should believe and trust in ourselves as a human being, and then we need to trust each other, because if we didn't trust each other, and if we didn't love each other, okay, as a people, and if we didn't put all of these cultures together on the same table, we will not do anything. So inshallah, all of us, we could change this world from darkness to lightness, and we will do it soon, inshallah.
I love that, and what I would say, especially to any like Christians who are watching who feel kind of detached from this, when something evil is going on in the world, like is happening now, when something horrible is happening, it's easy just to want to sort of detach from that, and while you shouldn't get consumed in the 24-hour news cycle, now is the time to move closer, to make Palestinian friends, to make Israeli friends, to get closer to people, and to build bridges.
And just like another note, which is inshallah, after this war, if anyone could come to Palestine, to Ramallah, you just let me know, because you will have your own place, and you will have your own space, and we will come, like, I and my family for sure, we will welcome you, as a family, and we will you will get, and actually you will know you will discover our Palestinian culture, and you will like it, and you will like our food. So you are more than welcome, seriously, like, to come here, because I'm always sharing this to all the friends I know, friends I don't know. Always say that if anyone could come to Palestine, to Ramallah, to Jericho, just please let me know, and I can show you around, and I'm pretty sure that you will love Palestinian people because we are a good people.
Okay, so I'm going to make you a deal. We are going to try and do this, and at some point we'll try and record a podcast face to face.
Okay.
Over food.
I got you.
Okay.
Okay.
Mohamad, thank you for coming on the show, and thank you guys for listening. We will be back next time.